Over the summer, I got to experience my first ever blue water spearfishing trip. We were in the Azores with Mike Robinson filming for his show Fishing the Wild. This is Mike, Joe Harding, cameraman, producer. We started off in Terceira and then went to Pico, so it was two separate trips. We will start with footage from exploring Terceira, where we met up with a local spearo called Guy Bruges, an absolute legend. And we're about to meet a local spearo called Guy. He's going to come around the corner in his boat. We're going to go out spearfishing my first ever time in the Azores. I will let that footage roll first, and then we will come to the epic offshore blue water spearfishing in Pico a bit later on.
Guy and Captain Tony picked us up on their small boat and took us to a pinnacle about 1 mile offshore. Guy very kindly lent me his roller gun and then deployed flashers into about 10 metres of water. Being far out to sea in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, any large pelagics could cruise by at any moment. The pinnacle dropped straight off into about 20 metres, and this is where I did my first dive into the deep blue. Guy had actually told me this wasn't the best viz for this location, but I was pretty amazed by what I could see, the amount of different species, and perhaps you can just make out this yellowmouth barracuda cruising away off to the left. Back on the surface, I could see that the top of the pinnacle had clouds of grey triggerfish on. I decided to see if I could make one of these triggers my first catch in the Azores.
So after we'd done this pinnacle, which was about a mile out, we came inshore to dive straight off the rocks. In the Azores, you throw a stone from the shore and you're already in about 200 metres. It drops off so quickly. So we were really close up to the cliffs, diving down to about 20 metres. And this is where I really started to catch some of the epic fish I dreamed about. So we had a brilliant day with Guy. We went first of all to some rocks out to sea, about 1 kilometre out. That's where I found the big triggerfish, fluttering away in about 10 metres. And then went slightly deeper for the rest of the fish. The barracuda, parrotfish and bream were more in about 20 metres. But the blue warm water makes it really easy or really comfortable to dive deeper because it's so warm and so blue and lovely. So this is all going to be cooked up for Farming the Wild team, and also Guy's going to be joining us, so plenty of fish for a big crew.
Being on a cooking programme certainly has its benefits, Mike is the most incredible chef, and he cooked up this red wrasse, which he shot himself, butterflied it on the barbecue with sauce. It was absolutely stunning. And then we had the barracuda and the white trevally. Absolutely delicious.
So after the epic cook up with Guy on Terceira, we got a plane to Pico, where we were picked up by Pedro Januero of DBM Azores, and he took us to a pinnacle far, far out to sea, where we did some of the most unbelievable blue water spearfishing. There were all kinds of creatures out there. The water probably had 30 meters visibility, so I will let these clips roll now. It was absolutely epic.
And also it's a valuable food resource, like the restaurants.
So Pedro very kindly picked us up from the airport, and without further ado took us out on his offshore boat Tequila to go to a very, very exciting pinnacle quite a few miles out to sea. We saw all kinds of wildlife on the way out, from flying fish to whales. It was absolutely stunning. Arriving at the pinnacle, I was getting so excited. You can tell a place is worth visiting when it has this many boats on, this far out to sea. We could see wahoo sunning themselves on the surface before we'd even got out of the boat.
Full of fish, amberjacks, yellowmouth, barracudas.
So I was gradually starting to get the hang of the blue water technique by this point. You need to be ready to dive when pelagics are cruising by, and there's no good being like a free diver with your chin tucked in and going really calmly. You need to be alert, looking around you for where these fish are coming from. And that was something I wasn't really used to. We had actually been in the water for probably 3 hours before I speared my first fish out here, this beautiful Atlantic bonito. But about 2 hours and 20 dives later, I managed to find the fish that we had all been looking for out here, the greater amberjack.
Hope so.
Okay. Big amberjack.
To be honest, I was pretty speechless for the rest of the day after landing this 37 kilo greater amberjack. And what better way to enjoy it than have a professional Michelin star chef prepare it, butcher it, and we enjoyed it with about 15 islanders. and we're also able to take home 20 kilos to our families.
Joe Pike, look. That's a dream right there.
It was just a stunning end to a stunning trip,
I've got to take some pictures.
and if you get the chance, head over to My Outdoor TV and have a look at the show when it's going to be released soon in probably around about spring 2023. And that fish has to be,
So we keep it
I
beautiful.
have to admit, it was the tastiest fish I've ever had. Amberjack is a stunning, stunning fish to eat. If you like eating mackerel, it's oily and meaty and delicious. Cannot recommend it enough, and I really hope I get the opportunity to head back to the Azores. It's a stunning place. The wildlife is awesome, and the fish over there
It's amazing.
are
when you get to
out
those
of this
times.
world.
This will be amazing. It's different.
I hope you enjoyed sharing my introduction to blue water spearfishing. I certainly learnt a lot whilst I was out there. It was a bit of a crash course, but I've still got loads to learn, and I can't wait to get back out there into the blue water. So if you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up and possibly a comment, and can't wait to bring you the next one. Thank you very much for watching.